Hello everyone, it's me, GamePang21 again, and today we're going to be looking at someone who I haven't covered in a while, and this being Malkumum. Yep, apparently he isn't dead. I've been trying to check up on him, at least for the past couple times, and well, thank you to Klutzy King, whose name I actually do remember this time, for pointing out this video to me. Basically, yeah. I do watch a lot of the other commentary channels a lot, and this is what kind of inspires me to like look out for other videos to just see what other people are covering. And this one I wanted to get on top of really quickly, mainly for a few different reasons. One of them is the fact that I only now can see some of the interesting things, and yet, yeah, he actually does have a PC, which looks pretty decent. But again, he seems to continue the notion of that PlayStation is best, but this one right here, oh boy, is he gonna be weird. So, the title of this video being Spider-Man on PlayStation is the first step towards a PlayStation's demise. And, oh boy, we're in for some spicy takes. Also, by the way, in case anyone wants to take a note here, please do understand that there is a drinking game that is going to be going on, and I don't condone underage drinking, yada, yada, yada. But I will say, if you want to get fucked up during this video, because you might want to, I will ask that you take a sip of beer. Don't take shots, because you will die, but just take a sip of beer every time that he says, you know what I'm saying. And I'm fairly certain if you've played this drinking game before, you know your limits on this one, so please be sure about that. I'm not going to keep track of it in this case, because I don't really want to do all that editing, because it's probably going to take me a couple days to actually upload. But this is the recording video, is recorded like a couple days after he uploaded this video. I just want to get this video out there, and stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, enjoy also the awesome Spider-Man remastered gameplay in the background, just to rub salt into the wound, because I think it's funny. Anyway, guys, let's get into the video.
What's up, guys? It's Malkumum back with another video today. I don't even know what to say. I'm at a loss for words at this point. Like, there's nothing I could say.
I'm not. I want to say a lot of things about this setup. Number one is the fact that he actually has a pretty decent looking PC. Not gonna lie. If I'm looking at that correctly, I'm assuming that it's at least a 1080 Ti, maybe a little bit more than that. I'm not too certain, but I do recognize like an NVIDIA graphics card when I see one. Pretty decent setup, though I don't know about a CPU or GPU or whatever. He also seems to be running Windows 11 for some reason. I guess his Windows PC is actually compatible with that. But also, one thing I want to say is, why are you showing the Epic Games store rather than, say, the Steam store or something like that? Maybe it's because the Steam store itself actually has better reviews. And also, like, why the fuck are you showing the Epic Games store? And why do you even have that installed? I only really have that installed for the free games that I sometimes get, if I, like, want to do that. But at the same time, I really should uninstall it, because I never play any of the games on it. Also, what's interesting is that he has a CyberPower, a CyberPower keyboard with, like, the buttons on the sides. There's nothing really interesting that I want to say about that. It's a pretty solid keyboard, and I can tell you because I've actually had that keyboard, because it came with my actual pre-built computer, so good on you. But, yeah, why would you use a Dell mouse instead of, like, say, a CyberPower mouse that probably came with your computer? Like, it even has weights and things. Whatever. Maybe he built it himself. I don't think so, but maybe he did. Or maybe his mom bought it for him. But, yeah. You know, it's gonna get really good when he just starts off the video like this.
At this point, it's ridiculous. At this point, it's getting too ridiculous. Know what I'm saying? I tried to stop the exclusives from coming up to PlayStation to PC, but it just won't stop. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? This is very disappointing. This is awful. I'm pretty sure this is the doom of PlayStation. This is when PlayStation officially dies.
Ah, yes. PlayStation making more millions of dollars than they have been in the past, increasing their revenue by probably a significant factor enough that they're keeping up this specific trend, yes, this is the death of PlayStation 100%. The death of PlayStation exclusivity, more or less, probably, but not the death of PlayStation, especially considering that, again, they are making millions upon millions of dollars, according to this Twitter poll and this right here. I'll probably put up the same things that I put up in the last video, but yeah, totally not making absolutely millions upon millions of dollars with very minimal effort. And I think this one's probably going to be one of their most successful, mainly due to the fact that this one actually had coverage in like a major actual event, which I think really hyped up this game. And yes, it is currently number one, actually, number one on Steam charts right now, so yay! Vindication!
Because at this point, what's the point? I'm saying there's no point anymore. It's just ridiculous, man. Wow. Damn. You guys really need all the exclusives from us, know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We're done giving you exclusives.
No, you're not.
I don't even know what to do. I can't do anything, man. There's nothing I could do. I wish I could do something, but there's nothing I could do. This is ridiculous.
Dude, the keyboard did nothing wrong. Of course, there's also nothing you can really do, but the keyboard did nothing wrong, bro. That's my favorite. That's like a keyboard that I actually kind of like. If you want to sell your PC to me, please let me keep that keyboard with it. This is a nice keyboard. Nice to have backups, you know.
I mean, what do you want me to do?
Sit there and cry. That is a joke. That is a joke.
Know what I'm saying? They're just going to keep throwing exclusives on PC. It's ridiculous. I've already said this a million times before. And I'm saying...
No, you haven't. You said that they would actually stop doing this a long time ago, and that there was no money to be made on PC. In fact, you've completely and utterly dick-sucked the PlayStation for a long-ass time. In fact, even praising their acquisition, if I remember correctly, one of the last videos that I reviewed, you praised their acquisition of Bungie, saying that you would get things like Halo and stuff like that, even though they have no publishing rights to actually Halo, because that is owned by Microsoft and 343.
There's nothing I can do, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and rant and do all that stuff because it's just, there's no point. It just keeps happening. It just keeps going. It never stops, you know what I'm saying? It will never stop. It will never stop.
You know, I love the fact that he says, oh, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to rant, yet there is another 3 minutes of him sitting here and fucking ranting at his computer for no other reason than just to make another video coping and seething over this sort of thing. You gotta love when the person says that they're not doing the thing, and then they do the fucking thing anyway. Hypocrisy.
It's ridiculous. PlayStation is gonna die. I'm looking at 5 years. Know what I'm saying? About 5 years. It's over. All our exclusives are going away. We have nothing.
You just now removed that screen protector thing off of that keyboard. Why would you not do that instantly upon doing that? Like, alright, I'm getting distracted by really weird things because he's just going on and repeating himself over and over and over again. By the way, again, like I said before, if you're playing that drinking game, do comment below how many times he actually says, you know what I'm saying? Because I really want to know, because he is infamous for that freaking line for no other reason. And he's just like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, we know what you're saying. Stop repeating the line. It gets annoying. Also, yeah, there's a lot of, like, bits where he just kind of pauses for no reason.
Know what I'm saying? We have scraps. We're salvaging at this point. We have nothing. It's ridiculous right now. PC is just taking all our games, man.
I mean, you have your PlayStation, you have your games that are exclusive to PlayStation for, like, a limited time, but you also have games themselves that are, like, still pretty decent on the actual PlayStation. And since the software is going to be on multiple platforms, that means that Sony can more or less probably reinvest some of that money back into the console to make the next console far better than the previous console. Maybe even up to snuff with, like, some current stuff. Maybe. But at the same time, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series of consoles, they're not that bad. I mean, yes, I can point out how much there is like wrong with the consoles and how much the consoles are like different than the PC and how they are stuck where they are because of the way that they're manufactured and made. But at the same time, they're still fine. If you want to get into gaming and stuff like that, they're not the worst thing that you can do. I mean, hell, I recently found an old game, Game Bit controller by like Go Retro Portable, like the Go Retro Portable by Retrobit, and I bought this for like $20. I 100% love to carry this thing around for right now for just no other fucking reason than if my Steam Deck is down, if I don't want to like power on my Steam Deck, or if I'm not like, if I don't want to go on my phone for whatever reason. Stuff like this, even old stuff, is still pretty good in my opinion, depending on your expectations. It just depends on what you want out of the machine. If you want exclusives out of the console, and that's your only reason for buying the console, yeah, there is no fucking reason to buy a console for that purpose. But majority of people don't fucking care about that. They just don't. If you do, you probably need to reassess the entirety of what you're looking to get out of this console.
And it's just like, why?
Money.
I'm saying that's what consoles are here for. Consoles are here for exclusives, and I'm saying
wrong.
You can't have a console, you know what I'm saying, and not have the exclusives. Without the exclusives, the console is useless. Simply put, there's no way going around that, you know what I'm saying. When you have a PlayStation and an Xbox, you either choose the PlayStation or Xbox simply for the games. There's nothing different between these consoles. I don't know how many times I have to say this.
You've never really said that, and other people have said that more than you. But when we say it, we mean that there is very little difference between the consoles, but they're still competing with each other because they are a much lower price than certain things on the PC. Yes, you can make a PC for around the same price of a console, but you're going to get about the same performance as a console. Bear in mind, there is ways to like fluctuate that price depending on if the prices are like dropping or raising or blah, 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 blah. There's so much grains of salt that you'll get sodium poisoning. My point is that the consoles are here as, in my opinion, an entry point into gaming or an entry point into a more hardcore gaming. That's the way that I see it, at the very least. To be fair, though, there are things that consoles have that PC just doesn't do. The consoles themselves do have like one marketplace and maybe some sales sometimes, but when we're talking about saying that the consoles are worse than the PC, I don't necessarily say that to be out of like a malice thing. I just say that as a pure statement of fact. And yes, there is very little that a console offers that a PC can't offer 10 times over and then some. But at the same time, I recognize that the console exists for the people who don't want to deal with some of the problems of PC, because PC itself is not infallible. Yes, there's a lot of fixes for things, and there's a lot of ways to fix things if you know what you're doing, but again, at the same time, I would still recommend that you can, if you just don't want to deal with PC stuff, you can recommend either of the consoles and it's fine. It's just a personal preference thing. If you want to game on a console because you've gamed on a console and that's where all of your friends are, yeah, guess what? That's where you're gonna fucking go. That's the same thing for me right now. If you haven't been following the channel, what I have been talking about is the whole EAC thing in one of my other recent videos where I ranted on about it. That video will still remain up, and I don't fully support everything in there, but most of my points still hold in this argument. But the whole point of that is that people will go where people are going. So let's say that, for example, the entirety of all of the games are playable on every platform. People will just be able to pick what they want when they want it. And I think that that's a good thing. If they say have cross progression, that makes even more incentive to say have a console over a PC in some regards. Because sometimes you just don't want to deal with things on PC. You just want to play video games or just watch Netflix. That's a lot of the reasons why some people want to buy consoles. They just want to game and don't want the fluff and nonsense of having to open up your games, open up your Steam library, and all that other stuff. Even though you do the same thing on console, on On the PC, there is a couple more steps to it, and some people just don't want to deal with that. Some people just don't want to go or have the distraction of Twitter. The console is basically your standard issue flip-out pocket knife. It does one thing really, 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 really well. Well, as best as it can, but it does that one thing to a point that it's the only thing that it does. It's not a bad thing, but at the same time, it doesn't have a lot of applications outside of that. For a PC, it's more of a Swiss Army knife. It can do whatever the fuck you want it to do. You can make it the most amazing beast of a rig and have it to be like the world's most expensive pocket knife, in that you can do basically everything, and just like whenever you throw it, it will just handle that problem, no problem. But at the same time, you can budget it down to be like something more affordable, something more along the lines of a console experience. For example, like the 3 examples that I'm going to give right now are, again, PlayStation, because we're talking about PlayStation. I'm also going to talk about my personal PC and my Steam Deck. The Steam Deck itself is the in-betweener of the two, where it's not fully a console, but also not fully a PC. It is a fully functional and serviceable PC, but has a lot of the skins and, a lot of the ease of use of a standard console. Even some of the actual UI elements heavily are inspired by actual consoles. And yes, it has emulation. Yes, it has some of the other stuff of PCs. But you can strip all of that away and basically just make it a portable, more powerful Switch-type Pro system. Whereas with the PlayStation, it's more of a standard gaming machine. And yes, it can do other things like browse the internet and stuff, but at the same time, there is points to everything. For me, and this is one of the big reasons why I wasn't in support of EAC when it came to VRC, but the big reason as to why I 100% am in support of the PC as well as other gaming stuff, and why I call out fanboys like you, is because I am pro-decisions, pro-options. I would say pro-choice, but that's a completely separate issue, but I am still pro-choice in that context, but I don't want to get political. I am pro-options when it comes to video games. Literally, game on what you want. I don't give a shit so long as you are enjoying the game that you are playing. If you don't enjoy the game that you are playing for the reasons of just the game existing and playing on whatever platform that you prefer, you don't really like the game that you're playing. You just like the platform and the business and the marketing. That's all that you like. And that can only carry a product so far. But what do I know? I'm only a business student.
And then when you throw all your games over to the more powerful console, that's when everything, falls apart. That's when it all is ruined. You're basically giving up the company at this point. You're selling out. No, I'm saying, Sony, you're selling out. This is what you're doing. You're selling out. It's embarrassing.
Selling out is different than expanding your market. Again, business student here, bro. You don't know the difference. Get the fuck out of the kitchen.
It's truly embarrassing. No, I'm saying, and I've said this countless times before, but PlayStation is done, bro.
Sorcerer, it didn't happen.
PlayStation is simply done. Now I'm saying it's sad, man. Yikes. R.I.P. PlayStation. Spider-Man coming to PC, it's just ridiculous at this point. There's nothing I could do. I wish I could help, guys. I know it seems like I'm giving up at this point, but it's just like, what can I do? I'm saying, go in the comments below. Tell me what I could do to stop this, because
fucking nothing, bro. Are you on the board of directors? You need to understand that you're not owed games just because the company says it. PlayStation themselves have flat out fucking lied to your face in several occasions. One in particular that I'm going to go on a little band of rant about is that they said that they had no plans for further VR, and that VR was just something that they didn't want to do. And yet, they're coming out with PlayStation 2 in like the next 2 years. Like, what the fuck?
There's really nothing I could do.
Other than cope and see, then make this video.
Me and my little phone in my house, this is not going to help stop PlayStation. I'm saying, there's nothing I could do.
No shit, Sherlock. What made you think that? Hold up. Do you have a pink phone case? Huh. Probably more salmon, but still. Interesting.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's nothing, man. Unless I, like, plant a bomb at PlayStation headquarters, that's the only way this is gonna stop.
I don't know why I immediately thought of this joke, but, play the clip.
Don't make fun of the furry community.
Why not?
If they can afford a $2,000 fursuit, they can afford a $10 pipe bomb in my mailbox.
If I could devise a plan to plant a bomb in PlayStation headquarters, know what I'm saying, and stop these ports coming to PC, maybe I would, but know what I'm saying, I just don't have that kind of expertise, you know what I'm saying? I don't got bombs, bruh.
I've got a peer-reviewed study right here that says says you're a pussy.
So yeah, man, just a little short and sweet video. There's really nothing at this point. This is ridiculous, you know what I'm saying?
Isn't there such a thing as the anarchist cookbook? My man out here about to, like, spend his money to spend his, like, 37 cents to $1 on the anarchist cookbook just to do that. Oh boy.
This is embarrassing. PlayStation is gonna die. I'm giving it 5 years. They're dead. No more PS6. PS6 is not even coming out at this point. Because if you're gonna throw all your exclusives on PC, why would people buy your console? Know what I'm saying?
For the purposes of supporting the company, as well as the other reasons that I have listed off before.
Why would people buy it? There's no reason. No reason. Zero reason. Know what I'm saying? But still, PlayStation is better than every other console. PlayStation is better than PC. PlayStation is better than Xbox. Know what I'm saying? It's simply better. Know what I'm saying? We got everything. We got the best stuff.
So, let me get this straight. PlayStation is dying, yet they are still the best company. Makes sense to me. I mean, I don't know what you're trying to talk about. That's a sound logic right there, bro.
Xbox is trash, PC is trash, Nintendo's trash, mobile's trash, know what I'm saying? It's just like that, man.
See, I would agree with that last one if I couldn't play Call of Duty mobile while sitting on the toilet taking a massive dump. You do not have lived until you have been able to stomp on noobs on the toilet on your phone. Also, I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go recently, so yeah. Phone is not that bad, but still pretty bad.
But, yeah, man, it's... Yikes, man. Yeah, man, I'll catch you guys in the next video, man. RIP PlayStation. RIP PlayStation, man.
And like that, like a kiss in the wind, it is over. Final thoughts. I'm not going to keep you too much long, because it's pretty self-explanatory at this point. I do remember the last time that I actually covered him, I did wonder whether or not this was a troll or not, but given the fact that this is very consistent with his content, it does seem like this is not a troll. So, yeah, unfortunate. But, in any case, Spider-Man Remastered, #1 seller on Steam charts right now, concurrently making fucking millions of dollars alongside the other PC ports that they have made. Yep, totally. Sony is dying. They're done. They've clocked out because they just keep bringing their own first-party bangers onto the actual thing, using the Sony ponies' words against them. Of course, bringing their first-party bangers onto the PC instantly makes them the worst thing in the fucking world. That's unfortunate, and I guess that they're dying. Oh well, that's what that happens. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to call it there. Really nothing else to say on the matter. Just wanted to make a funny little quick video on this. But, yeah, in any case, my game is GamePenguin21. This video is a fucking pile of hot garbage, and a piece off.